Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock. Welcome back to the free to play. Um, I'm trying to calm down and compose my thoughts a little bit. Been very, very stressed out with raid, work, life, everything, and I almost didn't record at all today. But there was stuff I realized there was stuff I had to do. I have to pull these sacreds. Talk about that in a second. I also told you guys I was going to pull sacreds on the main account. So I didn't want to say I was going to do something and then not do it. So here I am to do that. I want to address something else real quick. And if I'm honest, this feels like a trap. So there's been a couple comments. When I say couple, there's been two. And seemingly from two different accounts, but you know how trolls are. And basically, they're trying to allege that somehow this isn't free to play, which kind of blows my mind because I've done nothing to indicate that this isn't a free to play account. Like, you can clearly go from daily videos, you can clearly see where gains are coming from and then where I'm actually using my resources. I mean, this number has been the same. I mean, give or take a couple of energy for a couple of days now because I'm just not using any energy. Anyways, I so what I mean by a trap, I feel like if I defend myself, I'm just like being over like, oh my god, no, no, I'm free to play. I swear, I swear. That's just people are just like, oh, see, he's obviously not free to play. Look at how he screams about it. So I really don't know what to say. But I mean, you can just watch video to video and see. I mean, what else do I need to do? Do I need to open up my rewards from Clan Boss on camera every day? Like, I don't understand. I know that what's his face? There's another free to play guy that got a letter from Plarium that said, "Hey, I'm free to play. If you guys want me to jump through that hoop, I guess I can." But this is a free to play account. People have been watching it from the friggin' jump, and you can clearly tell that it is. I'm just lazy. I haven't done a dungeon in several days now. This is a combination of energy from Clan v Clan and a combination of my daily energy from doing my dailies because that's all I'm doing is doing enough to get my dailies done and then logging off for the night pretty much. So I haven't been farming, I haven't been spending this energy. I should be. That's a ton of masteries for the champions on my account who don't have masteries. You want to talk about what a free to play account looks like? Let's see. Look at this. Yakarl, I just built him, no masteries, right? Let's see. Who else? These are all champions I've had forever. Who else is new that I could get? Yeah, we don't have any masteries on Cold Heart. I haven't even don't even have my Cold Heart built, right? Wixwell will need masteries. Mithrala needs masteries, and then we can talk about books if you want. No books on my Mithrala. No books to have Wixwell. I wasted books on your Carl, and I'm super pissed about it. Like, I just don't understand why someone needs to do it. So I know they're trolls. I know they're trolls, but I'm not in the mental state right now to ignore it because I'm really pissed off. And I just read the comment before I started recording, and this is what you get. So I apologize. Why don't we get on to a normal video, okay? So, um, as I've kind of just mentioned already, I haven't really been playing much. I just haven't. I did play a little bit from work today, and I thought I would do Doom Tower hard, but Bommel stopped me. Now, I should be able to beat Bommel. I have Lady Annabelle. She's only 5 stars, but that difficulty of Bommel, I should be able to beat with Lady Annabelle. She's just too slow right now, is the problem. So she can't quite survive. So I just need to build her a little bit better. But I think I can get away with 5 stars on her. I do have HP on everything, as you can see, and maybe if I do a little ascending and things like that. But her speed is really, really low, only at 168 speed. I really need to get HP percent and speed on a lot of these other items on here. So that's kind of one thing I need to work on. But like I said previously, because I did that because in the comments you guys were like, "Oh, you should go do Doom Tower hard," right? And that made sense. And I was like, "Let's try it." I tried it, and unfortunately, I'm stuck. But you guys have also made comments like, oh, you can use these champions to beat Bomber or whatever. I have Lady Annabelle. Like, I could beat him. I don't need to do any manualing, and I don't have time to do manualing right now. But what I am going to do is keep doing normal. I'm going to progress through normal every day, and then just go back and do that Bommel once I have the time to get caught up, where I can take a whole day on camera, on stream with you guys, and play, right? I'll spend this energy, I'll build champions, I'll level champions. We have a really good champion training event coming up. Now, unfortunately, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to participate in this, but I say really good. I don't know what the rewards are, but we have a champion training event. I'm going to try and use my energy, not extra energy. I'm not going to spend gems or anything, but this 2,000 energy I have, I'm just going to use it on this champion training event and try and build up food so I can get some of these champions that need to get 6-starred to 6 stars, because I still don't have, I don't think I have any. I have 1 chicken right now, so not really much going on. There are 2 sacred shards right now, 1 from Clan Boss, and then I got this daily login reward, 265, right? So, and then we have another one coming up in a couple of days, which I'm excited about. Normally, I don't like to spend shards. I would normally save these guys. Well, it is a 2 times event on a free-to-play account, so maybe that's worthwhile spending here. On this particular account, I guess it is, because there are still a lot of legendaries that would really change the game right now for me. But we do have an opportunity to get a really, really good faction unity champion, so we're going to pull shards on this account for him, and then we'll pull shards on the main account as well. I just want to make sure there isn't anything else that I want to talk about. We're on a very weak 4 key. Every single one of my runs today was under 20. So we're at 56. So if I hit 20, we'll hit 76, which is more than enough. Even if I'm just under 20, we'll still have enough for a 4 key. I would do that on camera, but I don't want to. It's going to take too long because it's not quick yet. But I'm very excited to do Wixwell teams. A lot of you said a double Wixwell on the main account. That was the problem, is that I pulled the second Wixwell on the main account, and I'm really upset about that. Because if I pulled the second Wixwell on this account, I would have been thrilled. Unfortunately, I pulled it on the main account. I don't even know that I was going to level 1 Wixwell, let alone 2. Yes, he's really good, but I also have a lot of my teams just figured out on that account. However, he would be good for Centranos, which is the area that I'm going to be pushing more. And we're going to be shifting focuses on that account to pushing Centranos once I start going full time, and I can dedicate whole days and episodes and recordings to these accounts and working on that. So stay tuned. I'm kind of putting off, like, I want to get all my dungeons maxed out on there. And yeah, we'll kind of talk about that when we come to it. Something else that I wanted to mention, I had thoughts on a video today that Hell Hades put out, and I was going to put them in a comment on the video. A very respectful comment, because it's one where I don't necessarily agree with the sentiment that he had in his video. And it's not in a disrespectful way. It's like the way that I worded what I was going to write, and I decided not to write it. Mostly because I got really stressed out about a bunch of stuff and decided to just shut down and take a break from stuff today. A much needed break. I'm feeling better now. That's why I'm recording. But I wanted to say that I agreed with the sentiment, but not the hyperbole, because they made it sound like there was no reason to ever do a dungeon other than... But no, there was no reason to do any of the dungeons in the game anymore. And I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. A case in point would be this account right here. You know, their argument was that you only get regular accessories from Spider, and the gear that you get is relatively bad from the other dungeons, and I agree with that. However, when you have no gear, it makes a huge difference. So Rathalos is one of the cornerstones of the account, right? If I was to try and find... I just don't have better gear. I'm only farming stage 20 spider, mind you. That's my decision. I could probably push into hard. Um, but right now it's just too daunting of a task for me personally, and I will be making those moves to push in the future, like I just explained. But I still need to get gear in order to go do the harder content to get the better gear. And the problem too is a lot of the stuff that they said, like forge passes. Okay, I did the entire forge pass for bolster set. That gets me what? Don't judge me. 15 pieces of gear? For a free to play player, I get 15 pieces of gear from the bolster set. That's it. From the Forge Pass. And how many of those are going to be usable? You know what I mean? I just do not agree. And I really wanted to share that. I wanted to share it directly in a comment, but you still need those dungeons at a lower level in order to work your way up to the bigger and better stuff. This account, even though that, you know, I've completed Doom Tower normal, I don't have a team that, well, actually I probably could farm her, but on normal, I'm not going to get the resources that I would want. Where's the reward info? Yeah, on normal, I'm not going to get the resources I need to make the higher level 5 to 6 star pieces of gear. And quite frankly, even if you look at my account, what happened to the stats over sets? I mean, every content creator I ever watched in this game has been saying for years, stats over sets, and now all of a sudden sets are so good that we can't do regular dungeons. So I don't agree with it, and I wanted to comment on it. Not in a mean, disrespectful way. I understand. I agree with the sentiment. On my main account, I don't run dungeons anymore. Unless there's a reason to during an event. I'm actually to the point where I'm just throwing away anything that's not 6 stars on my main account. And like I'm setting the auto sell to everything under 6 stars, sell it, right? So I totally understand the sentiment, but to say to say that it was irrelevant, I do not agree with that, and I wanted to try to articulate that in a way that was fair. I also wanted to talk about a fear that I have and about the game in general. And I don't mean to drag this out too much. I'm going to check the recording time. We're only 13 minutes. In the comments of that video, I saw a lot of people asking for better drop rates, better stat, you know, maybe increased chance of percentage stat. Well, I don't know. I don't really know exactly, but they were looking for ways to make them more relevant or whatever. And I want to caution people against this type of thinking. This game is hard. It is challenging. And quite frankly, for a free-to-play player, some stuff, I don't want to use the word impossible, but some stuff will take a very long time to complete. The number of champions that I will need to acquire in order to do the higher difficulty content in City of Centranos, that will take me a very, very long time to acquire those champions. If we look at the fact that if I show you my roster of void legendaries, these are all free legendaries. I have yet to pull a void legendary on this account in 265 days. The reason I'm sharing this is because it just goes to show how difficult it is to get certain champions. And if there are certain champions that will make those fights easier, I need to acquire them, and I'm gonna have a difficult time doing that. But what I'm afraid of is if we make things too easy, then the game no longer becomes fun. I'm not saying that the game has to be hard. I certainly don't agree. I'm not a fan of City of Centranos and the methodology of making content hard by limiting your roster. I don't necessarily agree with that approach to the game. But what I'm afraid of is if we make the game too easy, then people stop playing. Wixwell, while I am excited to get him, is a slight endorsement of my fears. Wixwell and two buff extension champions make essentially a competitive, unkillable team. And while I'm excited because I now have access to something that I did not have access to a week ago, I am nervous because it could make Clan Boss arbitrary. It could make, and it's going to make it more frustrating for people after me who don't have a chance to get Wixwell for free, right? It costs a lot of energy and a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of people's hard work to get it. But and I know a lot of people in the comments tend to say that, oh, these fusions are too hard for free-to-play players. People in my own clan have even said that, which I disagree with. But I am worried that the game will become too easy, and my biggest example for that would be World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft since vanilla, and with each expansion and each new development, the game became easier and easier. You had a clear path to success, and it wasn't a matter of being the best as much as it was a matter of being the first to get the good gear, essentially. And I mean, I remember when I first played WoW, and there wasn't all these websites that told you how to be good at it. There wasn't all these preset builds. Everyone was just figuring it out and having discussions in the middle of whatever major city you were in, trying to say, oh, have you tried this ability or this talent, or, are you trying this rotation? And then eventually the game became figured out, and, I played it probably about, the last time I played was probably about 3 or 4 years ago, not classic, but retail. And I would go look up a build. What's the best build? Cool, that's the best build. I apply the build, I use the build, I profit. And that's still fun, but it's different type of fun. It wasn't this challenge, this achievement when you finally beat a boss, because I've beaten the boss 2 times, once on normal and once on heroic by the time I beat it on mythical, and the ones on normal and heroic were just kind of routine, oh, do we have a good enough gear to beat it? Sometimes, not all fights. Some of them were complicated, or you had that one guy that didn't know what he was doing. But that's a story for another time. I'm just afraid that if we make the game too easy and gear becomes way too easy to get, or champions become too easy to get, or content becomes too easy to clear, we may lose the challenge of the game in general. And for me, that's part of the fun. Currently I don't have a team that can do a Sand Devil, for example, and I'm working to get that team stronger, right? I'm going to have to get more regen gear. I'm going to have to get faster speeds and things like that. And I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's fun. But if the light is just right there and I can just reach out and grab it, that's less fun. So those are my thoughts on it. It's just a fear. This is wholly my opinion. I'm welcome to receive any feedback you guys want to give me in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. I'm just very fearful that the game will become too easy. And despite the fact that this is a very long game and takes, years to win, there really is no winning to Raid Shadow Legends. I still am not 100% sure that I want it to be that much easier. Are there quality life things I would love to see? Yes. Please give me more Minotaur levels, right? Totally down for that. They're going to nerf some of the harder dungeons coming up. I think that's warranted, especially from my current account. Maybe not. I think Phantom Shogun's Grove doesn't need a nerf. I think that's kind of been solved, but Sand Devil might need a nerf a little bit. But I have been working very hard, months and months and months, trying to get further in these dungeons, trying to get further in Hydra, etc. And I just don't want to see it become trivial and just super easy to do. And I know some fights are really just, oh, do you have an unkillable champion? Oh, do you have, not unkillable, sorry, do you have a black damage champion? Oh, do you have a geomancer? Cool. Go get a bunch of painkeepers, and now there's your team. I know that exists for this fight. But there are cheesy ways to win, but still, I don't know. I'm gonna ramble and ramble. I hope my point kind of gets across. I'm just fearful that the game will become too easy and people will stop playing because there isn't that challenge. There isn't that as much joy in it. So I loved how hard the original World of Warcraft was, and the new stuff is not. It's not easy, but it's not as hard as what it was when you were playing old school classic WoW. And I learned that when I went back and played classic WoW when it came out, and I was like, man, do I have to grind. So maybe there's a little in between there somewhere. Let's move on. Let's get on to the fun stuff that I know you guys all want to see. Let's pull some shards, right? So here we go. We're still under a 2x chance. We have a 12% chance at a legendary, and we have a chance to 10x chance of getting a very, very good legendary who would absolutely change my account. This man does a ton of damage. What I love about him is, while will attack using Burning Courage skills if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. That is this ability, which is, of course, the Faction Unity ability, which would steal buffs, increase damage according to those buffs stolen. And then you get more damage based on the ally turns. And then any surplus damage, if the target is killed, will go to everyone else, which is amazing. Also, Sacred Order, which I happen to have a pretty strong Sacred Order roster as it is, between Deacon, Godseeker, Shamil, Anchorite, Mordecai, Fenax, who would probably pair very, very well with him in Arena, and of course Wixwell now. So if I was to be lucky enough to get him, I think he would be a huge asset on the account. Albeit, I'm way too deep in legendaries and way too short on books. But let's go ahead and pull and see what we get here. Another epic. Cage Breaker. Yeah, not all that interested. And another epic. Okay. Ruella, that's like my third Ruella on this account. Not especially excited about it. I do want to go do... we have a ton of points here to spend. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have enough to get what I want, which was a legendary book. Do I want the... Could I get the 3? I don't think I can get the 3-star soul either. I think I'm going to come up just short of my first key. Yeah, I can't even buy this. So I would need to do champion leveling. I know that if I did a little bit of leveling, I could probably get the 3-star soul. I may want to consider doing that. But I just don't have the time. I really don't. Okay. No luck on this account. I'm wearing my this is my lucky pull shirt. If you go back and watch my videos, you'll see I'm always wearing this shirt when I have the lucky pulls. So it did not serve me well. Also, my camera, I just realized I forgot to point it back down after I tried to record some reaction shots. So sorry about that, guys. I was wondering why like it only could see like the top of my head. I was very confused. Let's go over to the main account now. This is the main account. You can tell right here, I'm Roadblock level 93, main account. I wanted to wait and pull these sacred shards. Again, we have 2 because this guy would be huge for this account as well. I think he was, was Fina yesterday or was it the other guy yesterday? What was the news? So Thursday was Gregor, Friday was Aislinn, Fina was yesterday. I did pull for Fina, and then I got 2 more sacreds from Clan Boss on this account today, and we're gonna go for Fallmond because this is the last time to pull for these champions. And here we go. So yeah, yesterday we got that double Wixwell epic. Not interested. And an epic. Pestilence. I think that's actually my first Pestilence on here. Nope. Okay. Well, sorry guys. Pretty weak on the shard pulls. I will say that I probably will regret this on the free-to-play, which we're back on now, right? We're back right here, free-to-play. We'll probably regret this because I think I'm going to fall short of some... I may regret not having those sacreds for the next fusion, whenever that may be. It should be relatively soon. I don't have a timeline, of course, but soon-ish. And I may regret not having those sacreds, but I think it was worth the risk. And again, I used to encourage all the time, hey, pull during a 2x event, especially on a free-to-play. So I think that's everything, guys. I'm sorry for kind of the rambling, ranting, and raving. I know probably not the most exciting stuff for you guys to see, but I kind of wanted to share my thoughts because there's a lot of stuff going on out there. So, all right, well, thank you all for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support me and just the absolute biggest help for me right now. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next time.